In the 21st century, we're finding that students need a different kind of preparation for their future careers than they might have gotten in the past. To prepare for these new kinds of careers, one needs to be more of a global citizen. It's important that you have an understanding of the world, not just from a textbook, but through direct engagement. And Penn opens up all sorts of possibilities for students to do that.
What makes Penn students unique, I think, is that they're both global in the sense that we recruit them from everywhere, and they're very sophisticated. These are, after all, young people who grew up at a time when this increasingly shrinking world was the natural order of things for them. So that means we have to up our game a little bit in the kinds of courses that we offer and the way we teach them.
One of the most wonderful things about the University of Pennsylvania is the interdisciplinary nature of education. And area studies are especially important to interdisciplinarity. Many people will major in something like economics or politics or engineering, and then combine that with a knowledge of a particular language in a particular part of the world, which prepares them for a rewarding international career.
With Penn's One University policy, I have the ability to take classes in the College of Arts and Sciences. And I think that's really served me well because I've been able to take a breadth of courses concerning history, culture, religion, and that has really complemented my education in Wharton because I've been able to think in a far more holistic sense.
For me, as a women's health nurse practitioner student, in order to impact public health on a global scale, you really need to spend a lot of time and effort taking into account people's values and people's cultures on the local level. This is why I've chosen to study Turkish. I received a FLAS scholarship, and Penn School of Nursing really supported me in that. And I think this really shows how Penn really values interdisciplinary endeavors.
I grew up the daughter of 2 immigrants from Ghana, and China had an indirect impact on my life growing up. As many know, China is a huge investor in Ghana and West Africa as a whole. And so I got to Penn and was trying to find a major in which I could really express and grow my understanding of Chinese business and also get to know Chinese culture and Chinese history on a deeper level. And so I was really fortunate that I found the East Asian Languages and Civilizations program, in which I could really bridge that understanding of Chinese business and Chinese history with also a strong training in language.
Penn is at the forefront of language teaching. Learning languages is the key to unlocking the door to many career opportunities, including overseas positions.
So not only does Penn offer modern languages, but it also offers ancient languages too. I've studied not only Hindi and Korean, but I've also been able to study Hittite, Akkadian, Sanskrit, and Prakrit here at Penn.
Another program that Penn has is the English Language Partners Program. So I was partnered with 2 students from Saudi Arabia, and we worked together studying my Arabic, and I helped them with their English. So hearing their perspective is really interesting, and that's really taught me a lot.
Once you learn the language, it's not a noise anymore. It makes more sense. It becomes live. It has a meaning. It has feelings in it, and emotions, and everything else.
So I've been studying Hindi and Marathi here at Penn since freshman year, and it's opened up a lot of really cool travel opportunities. So this past summer, I was able to do a critical language scholarship in Jaipur, which is a Hindi immersion program for 2 months.
Penn has all the resources of a big university. At the same time, you can also have the same experience you'd have at a small liberal arts college. You could spend your entire time at Penn in big lecture classes, but you could also spend your time only in small seminars.
My Turkish classes here at Penn have just been phenomenal. They're so small and intimate. It's myself and 2 other students, and the professor is really able to spend a lot of time tailoring the class to our own specific interests and learning needs.
There are so many opportunities to get involved with faculty research. One of the most remarkable things about Penn is that the faculty are all at the cutting edge of their own fields, and they're all doing research, and many of them are excited to have undergraduates work along with them.
The professors are really great in the sense that a lot of them are from your part of the world, and they really serve to guide you in the right direction so that you have the right amount of instruction to help you achieve what you want.
I've done 2 independent studies already just because I went to professors and I voiced my interest to them, and they've welcomed me.
What was nice about having the South Asia Studies major was that it allowed me to continue with my interests in knowing more about my cultural background and more about the history of South Asian countries. I got to find out about the Credit in India course, the CU in India course, and I actually decided to apply for both courses. One course was the Gender and Development course that took place in Kolkata, and the other one was Monuments in India that required us to go all around India.
In the last year, I started my own venture called WeLink, which the goal is to connect women in business. And growing up, when you take Chinese, one of the first terms you learn is guanxi, which is about relationship building. What's been really interesting about my time at Penn and my core studies, I really gotten to understand that aspect of relationship building. I really credit that idea to the Penn department. It wasn't really just me coming up with it on my own. I really, from my professors and from just the coursework that I took, I really understood China and again, Chinese culture from such a broad perspective that it's been able to help me in my own venture.
As I was sort of in the process of applying to college, I emailed someone in the South Asian department and just asked to sort of sit in on a class as part of a visit to Penn. And I was actually really surprised because I got back a great email that had planned out a whole sort of schedule for me that day for a class that I could sit in on and some professors and majors in the department that I could meet with.
Penn has wonderful resources for both teaching and research. One of the best ones is the Penn Museum, which we're standing in right now. So I, for example, have taught several classes in this museum, and in addition, we have lots of objects that are kept in storage, and those objects get used for teaching in classes very regularly.
Even as an undergraduate, you have access to so many resources, and you have access to manuscripts and statues, and they'll let you touch them, and there are always people to talk to about these artifacts, and so ideas are, mixed with material culture, and you get to study both ancient ideas and the kind of materialization of those ideas. And we have the Kislak Center, which has a lot of very rare manuscripts from all over the world.
There is, of course, the Perry World House, which is a major center for the study of global policy and a place in which experts from around the world come and speak and can meet with students.
Penn is constantly adding new programs and creating new opportunities for undergraduates to gain the skills that they'll need for the 21st century. And that means providing opportunities to develop students who will be the leaders of tomorrow.